Yep.
Now we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Podfeet.
Hi, Steve. Would you believe we've got New Zealand, Australia, and Japan in the live show at the same time? That's pretty darn cool.
That is cool.
That is nice. Very, very cool. So for roll call, we've got Steve and Brett and Dan and George and Kaylee and John, Rose, Richard, and Ian Prince Prince N just jumped in. So we've got quite the crowd. This is the international show tonight for sure, huh?
Yes, it is. We've got the globe pretty well covered, I'd say.
And from Alaska to who's the farthest south?
That would be Rose, I think.
No, I mean in the United States.
Oh, probably
the farthest south. Might be us.
We have someone from Texas or Florida.
Oh, John is in Florida, are you?
I think John's in Alabama. That's still pretty far south.
Okay, that beats us.
It's probably George. Oh, yeah.
I'd have to look at a map.
Not
really?
George, but John, yeah.
John? All right. Don't count that Oklahoma as foreign. Very nice. All right, let me do a little test recording here. See how we're doing. Nope. Enable a track. Arm that track. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan. I know that's too loud. Just hush up. Quit yelling at me. There we go. I know what you're going to say before you say it. Have you noticed I don't have glasses on? It's all very confusing.
Why are your glasses, Podfeet? It's a long story, right?
I have these glasses. I have these glasses. And I have these glasses. And let's see, there's a pair in my purse. And there's another pair downstairs. And I can't wear any of them right now. Seriously, wait, let's make sure this comedy is as bad as possible. Here is the fifth pair that I have upstairs. These are all my glasses. I can't wear any of them. Why can't you wear them? Well, it's very confusing. Right now, I don't have my contacts in. And let's see. These glasses are broken. That's why there's another pair downstairs just like them to get the lenses replaced and put them in. These broke, but I've got new ones. But they have to be worn over contacts. Plus, your sunglasses. Don't be ridiculous. These are my computer glasses, but I can only wear them with contacts. But I'm not wearing my contacts because if I have my contacts on, I'd have to be wearing these. But these are broken, so I can't wear my contacts, which means I can't wear these. And I have these glasses, which work perfectly fine, except I can't see the computer at this distance unless I go like this the whole time.
That's not a good look.
So we voted for me leaning in really close to the screen.
And being a little brighter.
Sigh. Okay, let me try doing a little test recording again. No. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com.
I could hear that.
Playback? You haven't done playback yet.
Oh, I could hear you live.
Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. Ooh, that audio sounds clean. Let's do it.
I can hear that.
All right, here we go.
Muting.
Quiet, everyone. Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set. We're going live. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, January 21st, 2018, and this is show number 663. Well, I hope you enjoyed that mammoth episode last week because you're going to get another really long one this week. We've got Bart Bouchat's with security bits, of course, because this is his scheduled week. Last week was a special. Steve has worked his little video editing fingers to the bone to bring us 4 interviews from CES. By the way, those are also videos. I forgot to mention that last week. Those are also videos over at podfeet.com that you can go watch and see the products. But hopefully we did a good enough job reminding the people that we're interviewing that it was audio also, that it brings value to you in audio. Then let's see. Helma's got an app review for us, and Raleigh gives a photo tip that after I play his photo tip, I'm going to talk a lot more about the subject after he's done. Well, in this week's Chit Chat Across the Pond, Bart is back with Programming by Stealth, installment 48 of X, where we take a look at the JavaScript keywords this and static. Now, I was really not looking forward to learning more about this because I hate this. It's very hard to explain. And he actually said this was the hardest episode he's put together so far, his tutorial. It's a really convoluted topic, but he gives great explanations as always. And I think I mostly understood it. He gave a little quiz at the end, and I got a 5 out of 5. So I was very excited about that. I was even more excited because the episode starts with me getting a gold star for getting my homework done, and I even got the extra credit done correctly. As usual, Dorothy helped me, but not as much this time as she has had to in the past. I got most of it. I had a few syntax problems here and there, a few logic problems, but with her hand-holding, I got it done. Anyway, you can find Pros, or you can get along with the light version of the Chit Chat Across the Pond feed. And as always, you can listen right at podfeed.com. All right, let's kick in with our first interview from CES. Chapter marker.
Ooh, good memory.
I know. Look at me go, girl.
Sandy asked, why can't you wear your glasses?
Yeah, and I gave a long explanation. It's almost like you're not here sometimes, Steve.
No, I was just reading the chat room.
I know, and I responded to the chat room.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
I did. Is it just me?
Well, I was off doing something else.
Uh-huh.
I'm catching up.
Okay, chapter markers aren't working. Command Shift Enter. Command. Okay. Right here. Command Shift Enter. That's weird. What? What are you laughing about?
Oh, nothing.
Yes, you are. Link. Oh. That. Getting new at this. Hey, oh, I forgot to mention. Chapter markers have the URLs in them.
That's right.
Whoa, you just broke way up.
And you tested that recently, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say a little bit more. Here.
By the way, Hangouts is acting up, so you may get some breakup.
I heard some breakup from you. Are you hearing me break up?
Yeah, quite often.
Uh-oh.
That's all right.
Really?
You're catching up.
All right. Well, here goes. Oh, wait, before we go into this, I want to remind you guys, or tell you guys for the first time, because I forgot to tell you last week, I did an enhancement to the chapter markers last week. I realized that in my recording software, Hindenburg, I can add not just the title, but I can also put the title of the blog post and a link to the blog post in the chapter marker. So in your podcatcher of choice, if it supports chapter marks, which, by the way, Apple Podcast does not, if you use a grown-up podcatcher, you should be able to click on the links and look at the text and view things and pictures and stuff while I'm talking while you're listening to it. So now, without further ado, let's listen to our first CES interview. Okay, now I got to move that to there. You know. And by the way, I know they don't line up, and I don't know why.
Is it Hindenburg that inserts? That's
wait, why did I do Analogics first? You put these in a weird order. Is it what?
Is it Hindenburg that's putting that marker in?
Uh-huh.
So maybe they just put a little random number generator in there and
it's close.
Stagger it.
It's a little early, which is odd. And I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let me check this intersection here. CES interview. Well, Steve and I have been getting really into trying to understand USB-C and Thunderbolt 3. Okay. That was Marv Sue, right?
Yes, Marv Sue.
Yeah. Okay. And click here. There you go. Castaways. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we really enjoyed talking to Marv. Steve and I talked to Marv for probably, a half hour, 45 minutes before we even got started, where I talked to him about all the different problems I've been having with understanding Thunderbolt 3 versus USB-C versus DisplayPort. And it's, Steve, You have to mute.
Muting.
You were sighing all through that. Apparently, I was exhausting you in some way. All right. Try this again. Very much.
Thank you.
Well, Steve and I really enjoyed talking to Marv Sue. We talked to him for probably a half hour, 45 minutes before we even did the interview, all about USB-C versus Thunderbolt 3 versus DisplayPort. And he just really clarified a lot of it for me. So if you hear me sounding more intelligent than I used to be on those topics, it's all due to Marv from Analogics. And I think the company's also called Slimport. It's kind of confusing. But anyway, thanks very much to Marv for all of the help that he gave us. Right. Next is Raleigh. Okay, so Analogics is done. Chapter marker. Okay. You're allowed to make noise now, Steve.
I just keep forgetting to trigger on and off the mic.
Okay. I know you have a lot on your plate right now.
I do. I'm watching a game over here. No.
What?
No.
Better not be. All right, Raleigh. Here we go. Here comes Raleigh. Mark for all of the help that he gave us.
Hi, Allison and
A little quick. Come on. A little quick. Mark for all of the help that he gave us.
Hi, Allison and Steve. This is Raleigh Barnard with some iOS device photo tips. A while ago, Allison, in one of her talks on the MacMania Solar Eclipse Cruise, said that the best way to take photos with an iPhone was to never zoom the image by pinching on the screen. Always take photos with the default field of view. If you wanted to zoom the picture, do it with Photos or other editing app after you've taken the picture. Well, as I always dutifully follow Allison's advice, I always take pictures that way. If others aren't aware of this photographic or want to know the reasoning behind this dictate, I guess that's the problem to be solved. When you zoom an image on an iOS device, all you're doing is expanding the pixels, which reduces the number of pixels that you capture in the photo. So you're losing information that can't be recovered after you've taken the picture. When you edit the photo later, you are again just expanding the pixels when you zoom, but at least at that point, you have the complete field to use in your zooming and cropping. This technique can also apply if you're taking 4K videos on your iPhone. Don't zoom the shot, but crop and resize in post. Our practice when we get home from a trip is to copy the iOS photos to a backup drive, as well as to a photos library. With recent versions of iOS, any photos that you've edited on the iPhone result in a separate image. For example, you'll have both an image.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead on this. Steve, I know it's a weird time to run a speed test, but I wonder if you might want to see if it's us.
I could.
Well, yeah, I'm using kilobytes up and down. Seems odd.
So am I. Yeah. I could run one.
I mean, don't run it very long.
Yeah. Are you going to record real quick, or do you have a moment?
Well, run the speed test real quick. Just see if we're having a network problem here. Could just be Googly Hangouts. Let's see. I'm going to read what did Kaylee answer? Let's see. Oh, Marco's own podcast is often mistimed a bit, so I fear it's not solvable if he has it for his own. Oh, that helps, Alistair. And sounds like Kaylee is saying, yes, I entered them into Auphonic directly, and then they're still wrong.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm not even going to worry about it.
Yep. I'm just wondering if there are other podcast catchers that don't do that. I mean, that would be the proof.
What do you mean podcatchers?
Players. Like Overcast. He does Overcast, right?
Hmm.
They're saying Overcast is doing this, not Hindenburg.
Well, have you checked mine in your podcatcher?
It doesn't
use
do
Pocket
chapter
Cast.
markers.
Yes, it does.
Oh, does it? I have never used them. So the speed test was 7 millisecond ping, 79 meg down, 91 up. I don't think there's a problem.
I don't think it's us. Now you guys have me curious. Pocket Cast, right? Well, Steve could be checking this. I'm pretty sure it does show chapter marks.
Let me try.
Let's see. Oh, no, not that. Does it? Oh man, you'd think I'd know, right? I shouldn't do this while I'm in the show. Did a whole spiel on MP3 seeking based on timestamp. Sounds like a bag of hurts. I assume chapter markers similarly tricky. Okay, well, good. I'm not going to worry about it then. All right, I got to do some recording. Here we go. And that font's nice and small. Thanks for your help. Okay.
Photography, now armed with these tips.
Well, thanks so much, Raleigh. I really appreciate that. And of course, I'm really proud of you for following any advice I give you. But you know what? After I read Raleigh's tips, or heard Raleigh's tips, I should say, I got to wondering about my advice. As Raleigh says, the tools to modify images are much more powerful on the Mac than they are on the iPhone. iPhone apps are certainly catching up, but there's nothing like the big screen to really see your images and be sure of what you're doing. How many times have you taken a few photos of the same thing, gotten one tweaked exactly the way you like it, and then sent out the wrong one? I did that just last week. Well, the other advantage of doing the cropping after you take the photo is you have better control over how the image is framed. You know how Bart often says to make sure your subject has room to look into? He says birds, airplanes, people, even train images look uncomfortable if there isn't space where they're going or looking. It's not a rule, of course, it's just a guideline, but it is an interesting idea, and I try to do that. But I often forget to make that space when I'm taking a photo, but if I can crop after the fact, I've got a better chance of creating a great image. If you zoom digitally, you can't get that extra data back that you cropped out. However, as I noodled this idea of digital zoom in camera versus cropping after the fact, I started looking around the net and made a big discovery. Since I gave Raleigh this advice many years ago, digital camera technology has advanced quite a bit, and this power has been put to use on improving digital zoom in our phones. In my reading of Tom's Guide, TechCrunch, and Macworld, 3 specific articles that I've linked to in the show notes, I learned that the processors inside of our phones and cameras can often take a better digital zoom photo than you could achieve by cropping after the fact. I know that's counterintuitive, right? But stick with me on this. One thing that should be said is that optical zoom is always better than digital zoom, at least for now. So if you have an iPhone 7 Plus, 8 Plus, or iPhone 10, all of which have both a wide-angle lens and a telephoto lens, hitting 2x gives you that optical zoom. But according to a Macworld article from 2016, the iPhone may not use the optical zoom when you specifically ask for it. In the article, they explain that the wide-angle lens is a faster lens, meaning it can capture more light. And so if you hit the 2x button in low light, the iPhone might actually use the digital rather than the optical zoom because the resulting image will look better with less noise than if they'd used the telephoto lens. Isn't that cool? I was astonished when I learned that. Well, image processors in our modern phones and cameras are actually creating new information, not just capturing whatever gets splatted onto the sensor. They're creating new information, filling in the blanks for us. So you know me, I can't bear to just accept all of this at face value. I had to do some testing. I took 3 sets of photos in low, medium, and high light. I took them with my iPhone 10 with the image captured at 1x, then 2x, which was theoretically optical zoom, but I don't know exactly what Apple does, and finally a third at the maximum zoom of 10x. Then in Affinity Photo, I cropped the 2x and 1x optical images to represent the same view, the same field of view as the 10x digital zoom image. Before we get into the quality of the images, I want to talk about the image resolution. So the iPhone's native image size is 4032 by 3024 pixels. Now that's true if you take a picture at 1x, 2x, or 10x. All 3 of those images will have that same native image size of 4032 by 3024. If you start with a full res photo that was taken at 1x and you crop it to zoom in on that frame that you see in the 10x photo, you'll only end up with an image that's 403 by 302 pixels. So that digital zoom photo is 4032. The optical image that you've cropped is only 403 pixels. So that tiny image obviously could never be printed, and it wouldn't even look good posted online, while the 10x digital zoom image would actually have to be scaled down to be posted online. So keep this in mind as you make your decision on whether to digitally zoom or not. So let's talk about the quality. In order to make my images that I took look comparable, I posted them all at the same width as the smallest image. In other words, the 1x image cropped to 10x. So they're all going to be 403 pixels across as you see them on screen. But in my on my post, you can click on the bigger images to see them full-sized to get an idea of the detail that is available in the full-size image. So let's talk through the 3 lighting scenarios and see how well our digital zoom performed in these real-world tests that I did. So starting with bright lighting conditions. While the bright lighting images that I posted do look rather dim, I didn't do any kind of processing to them at all. They were unaltered as taken under harsh white bathroom light. That's why I have the brightest light in my house. Under these conditions, I have to say the 10x digital zoom wins hands down for me. The detail captured and created is much sharper, and the image is actually brighter, and there's not more noise than on the optical cropped image. The 2x image shows better detail than the 1x image and isn't as muddy as the 1x image, but I'd still go for the 10x digital zoom image under bright lighting conditions. Now, under medium lighting conditions, I also think that the 10x digital zoom image looks better than the other two. The image is crisper with fine detail and not very much noise. The 2x optical zoom image does again look better than the 1x image. Finally, under low light conditions, that's the only place I started to say that I think the 10x digital zoom image didn't fare as well. I can't quite explain why this is, though. In low light, you would think that the wide angle lens being faster would give it the best advantage, but my test did not bear that out. The 10x digital zoom image doesn't have the detail of the purely optical images that were cropped to the same size. Now, I'm not sure that I found the definitive answer to any of this, but it does seem to me that you're probably going to be fine if you have only your iPhone and there's a grizzly bear out the window and you feel tempted to zoom up digitally. I would absolutely digitally zoom now, not use just the optical zoom and assume I'd be able to crop it when I got home. I'd be curious to see similar tests with a high-end Android phone as well, if anybody's got one, to see if digital zoom is in some conditions even better than optical zoom on Android as well. So thanks to Raleigh for the photo tips and for tickling my thinking to do some fun research.
So we had some of the worst breakup I've ever seen in Hangouts.
Yeah.
And then I looked at my speeds and they look pretty normal. I went up to a meg a couple times. Then I realized for the first time I've been hardwired to Ethernet. So I disconnected it and went back to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And it cleared up your video and audio.
Oh, come on. Why would that be?
That means I'm competing with you on the router. See, when I'm hardwired, I probably get equal preference, but when I'm Wi-Fi, you probably get better bandwidth.
Well, I guess the question would be under normal conditions, guys, when you see both of us.
Now you're breaking up a little bit, but not as bad as it was.
Let me ask my question. Under normal circumstances, when it's not all cruddy like it is tonight, does my video look better than Steve's? And don't say he looks better than me. Kevin's not here. You don't have to say that. Like last week when he had his new camera and he and I have the same camera, we're on the same network, but I was hardwired. Does his video look worse than mine? Because if it does, then Steve would be right.
That's a good test.
So I will await their answer. All right. So next, the Netgear Orbi. Okay.
So Ian says equal quality, but do you mean, Ian, you mean equal quality in the past? We're not talking about now, but we're trying to go in the past and figure out. Kevin.
Oh, did he come in? Oh, let me start the I just started Kevin Cast. If Kevin's there, that's funny. I just said Kevin's not here, that nobody had to be nice to Steve, and Kevin shows up. George says, see above regarding Android. Oh dear, how far? The V30 has very fast lens, but no optical zoom. Does have second back lens that's ultra wide. It'd be interesting, George. Take some pictures at 1x zoom and then 10x digital zoom, and then crop up on the 1x if you feel like it. I think that would be fun to know if that worked. I mean, if it was good. I have a feeling it might be.
You know, I could plug back into Ethernet and see what happens.
So is it better now?
It is for me. Now, I've had one breakup since I unplugged Ethernet, and it was short and nothing like what I was seeing before. You were 50% or more
really?
Broken
try
up.
Plugging back in. That would be interesting. So wait a minute. George is saying Zoom sucks. I don't know what Zoom sucks mean. We're talking about optical, or we're talking about digital zoom. And have you actually tested it lately? Because I would have absolutely said Zoom sucks before I did these tests. So fun research. Now, you guys know that I'm a big fan of the Netgear products. I've got the 8500. Okay, good. Back again. Did you just do it, Steve?
I plugged it in. Yep.
Richard says it's bad again.
Huh, okay.
As soon as I had the new V30. Yeah, Sandy, Kevin did have a hall pass. Okay, next is Helma. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. I get it. Clock. Nope. I think this is exciting that I'm able to give you guys these chapter markers with these links here.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, let's kick in next with a review of a cool little app by Humma from the Netherlands. I don't think she introduced herself. I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Did you already do Orbi?
Yeah, just finished Orbi.
All
right. So we're up to Clock. She teases the audience. She won't tell you the name of the app, but I've just spoiled it for you guys. Here we go. Humma from the Netherlands.
This is just a little review of an iOS app I came across when browsing the App Store on my phone. I was intrigued by its name, so I installed it, and it turned out to be quite useful. What's the problem it solves? When you have friends or business relations in multiple time zones, you'd like to have a quick overview of the time in their time zone. So you'd like to access the world clock quickly. This app does just that by adding a widget to the notification center.
Okay. It's basically like a time scroller type app, which is very cool. Okay. All right. I thought everyone hated their own voice. Yeah, but it's proof that you're all wrong. Your voices are lovely.
Yeah, Alistair, of all people, you can't hate your own voice. Come on.
Yeah, actually, Alistair, if you hate your own voice. All right, let me put a little thingy here. Here we go.
It's not. In fact, it's a company based in Singapore.
Well, now, Helma felt that you would be able to hear the very slight difference in pronunciation of crook, not clock. And if I said that correctly, I hope. Anyway, it is spelled K-L-O-K. And of course, there's a link in the show notes to the app. I checked it out, and it is very cool, just like Helma said. All right. And I'll do, did I just do? I did do
I think you're coming up on our Cronus.
Up next.
And you're starting to break up.
Are you plugged in?
Yep.
Well, unplug.
I think I will. By the way, Alistair says he's getting used to his voice.
Yeah, that's what I would say about mine too. But I don't think I started with the material that you got. I've come to the point that I think my voice is pretty cool, but it's not because of me. Ah! Did not mean to do that at all. I didn't even ask for Safari to open. Okay, come on. There we go. Cronus. This could be very little of just me. Steve's taking over my show, but man, it's relaxing. I had another segment, but I didn't have time to fit it in. Orby already, I said, right?
Now that time you did break up and I'm off the Ethernet.
Wait. What? Shoot. Ah. Okay, Acronis.
Yeah.
We finished Netgear, right?
Yes. Well, you said you did.
It says Netgear in the show notes. I better go back and check. Okay.
I missed it. I give the links to the chat room,
okay.
And I missed that one.
Okay, let's see. But I can click and go right away. Actually, oh yeah, no. I remember saying we're big fans of Orby. Now you guys know that I'm a big fan of the Netgear products. Of Netgear, anyway.
Okay, good.
Let's see. Okay, so that's Acronis. Oh, there you go. Oh, I don't need to scroll. Man, that's kind of cool actually. I can use the
tab?
I can use the chapter marks to jump to the different segments.
Nice. They're actually useful for you.
They are.
Rush joined us.
Rush. Like Helma said. Well, at the NosillaCast, we're big believers in backups, that's for sure. And I know we've got a lot of Backblaze fans. We had CrashPlan fans, but nobody gets to be CrashPlan fans at home anymore. So I thought it would be great to talk to the people at Acronis who have a Mac client, but I assume a Windows client as well. And I'm here with Gaidar Magdanarov.
Yeah.
I got closer. All right, tell us about your product here.
Okay, yeah, it's very simple. So we support Windows, Mac.
Do you guys remember the dentist that I talked to about the
magic toothbrush?
The magic toothbrush.
Yes.
I sent her the interview, and she just wrote back, "I hate my voice; it's horrible." And she says, "I mentioned it to my husband. He said, yeah, that's what I have to listen to all the time." It's really me. All right, here we go. I'm gonna say a little bit here. Really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Well, that gentleman was nice enough to give us a couple of copies of Acronis backup. So Steve and I will be testing that as well on top of our Backblaze backups that we're running right now. I'm definitely very happy with Backblaze, but I really like the idea of there being a good, strong alternative. So I'll check it out and let you know what I think in a little while. Okay. Chapter markers. I am just doing these chapters is completely second nature now. You know, it just feels like part of my process. Nobody's excited about that.
Oh, I am. You know, I think these are in reverse order.
Are they?
Yeah.
The way you did it, you mean?
Well, the numbers, I'm not sure how.
I did them in the order they were in they were published.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the reverse.
Really?
L'Oreal was first, Acronis, Analogics, and Netgear.
Want me to rearrange them all?
Nope.
Start over? Nope. You okay? I believe you. All right. What I think in a little while. I'm in the L'Oreal booth with Dr. Guive Belouche, and this guy was funny. I liked him a lot. I don't know if this product is any good.
Well, we didn't get the actual sensor. We just got the patch.
Yeah.
I'd like to have gotten the sensor.
Yeah. Maybe that's the problem. All right.
We should explain that after.
Well, yeah, maybe I won't in the. I don't think I'll bring it up because I'm not. I never wrote to him and asked him what was going on though.
No, I mean to the chat room.
Oh, so this this interview was with L'Oreal. They've got a thing called UV Sense. It's a little tiny sensor that you put. It's colorful. It's like all kinds of fun colors. You put it like on your fingernail as a decoration, or or you can put it on your glasses. But it basically measures the UV exposure that the UV you're being exposed to when you're walking around. And then it can tell you whether or not you're doing the right things with sunscreen and that sort of stuff. And so the idea is to make sure you could actually measure how much UV you're getting hit with. So they gave me a little sticker patch and I put that on and I thought it was going to do what this other thing did. And it didn't. It was stupid. It was for children. And basically you scanned it every hour. And then you answered a question of whether or not you went out in the sun. And if you went out in the sun, did you put on sunscreen? If you said yes, your little avatar got more stuff. Like I got a cape for doing it once. So that wasn't quite what I thought.
In reading between the lines, I think the patch, since it's got that little triangular design on it with multicolors, I think that changes color with UV exposure. The little triangles fade in and out differently.
Oh, we should have paid attention to that.
Yeah, so that's not the same as the sensor, which actually has a
sensor.
Yeah, but what's the connection? Near field connection to your phone, which communicates the data, actual data coming off the sensor in terms of exposure. So it's much more detailed UV data than just, did this patch change color?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you get the profile over time and record it over multiple days. And it doesn't have a battery, so it's real light.
Yeah. I wonder where people would wear it in reality.
Yeah. I mean, on their ear versus nail?
Well, you can't really put it on your skin, so it'd have to be like your fingernail or your glasses, and if your sunglasses. Sunglasses is a good idea because you probably mostly put on sunglasses when you're out in the sun. But if you ever go out where it's foggy and you think you're not getting UV exposure, you wouldn't know about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know that hole in the ozone? It's sitting right over Alistair in New Zealand. That's why he's talking about that.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that with Marianne and Devin?
Yeah, they told us to be really careful there. They said, I know you think you're out in the sun a lot, but it's nothing like here. So, all right, I got to record. Be quiet. Quiet on the set. Very interesting.
Pleasure to speak with you.
Well, this show doesn't have any ads. Nothing pre-roll, no interstitial ads, and no post-show ads. Instead, it's entirely supported by the generosity of you, the listeners. I would probably keep doing it whether you supported the show or not, to be honest. But, it's nice to have the show maybe work towards not actually costing us money to give it to you. For example, all those video interviews that Steve did, a lot of equipment had to be purchased in order to create those and bring them to you. Well, this week, Jonathan Scott pledged his support through Patreon by going to podfeed.com/Patreon and signing up to give money to the show on a monthly basis. Klaus Wolf went the exact opposite direction. He was irritated by what Patreon did earlier, so he removed his support, but instead supported the show through a one-time donation through PayPal. You can do that by going to podfeed.com/PayPal, if that's a better way to go for you. However you can show your support, I really appreciate it, and thanks to these fine gentlemen for stepping up to help us out. Alrighty. Dirty bits. There we go. And twice in a row, I screwed up the recording.
Which one?
Of oh yeah, this needs to be trimmed. Of recording with Bart twice in the last week's security bits. I paused. Oh, because you came home or something. For some reason, I needed to help you with something. I paused, and then when I got back, I forgot to hit resume. And so I didn't use the first half of mine and the second half as Bart's because the audio would have sounded like a big discontinuity. So I used all of Bart's. And this week, I think I just forgot to hit record at all. I don't know. I couldn't find it. I apparently didn't record it. So this is Bart's recording as well. So I think the beginning needs some trimming.
This is the security bit you're talking about?
Yeah. It is 54 minutes long.
54.
Yeah, I do need to get Bart to work on my end is clipped, I think. I think I'm too hot on his. Help us out. Well, it is that time of the week again. It is time for Security Bits with Bart Busschots. And we did an emergency update last week. I'm glad we did, because now we can settle in and do new stuff, Bart.
We can, however, there is still a small amount of Spectre and Meltdown update. And I think that's going to be a feature for a while. Not a huge amount, just 3 stories, but they're worthy of just, well, one of them in particular is worthy of pointing to. So I know we have an ever so slight Macintosh bias here. Sorry, Apple bias.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of our listeners who are of the Windows persuasion, or who are at least of a multicultural persuasion, if you can call operating systems cultures.
Sure.
Steve Gibson of GRC, Shields Up, SpinRite, Security Now, etc. fame has released a free Windows app which will analyze your hardware and software on a Windows PC and then tell you in plain English where you stand, both in terms of your level of protection against Meltdown and Spectre separately, and how much of a performance impact you should expect based on whether or not you have the appropriate combination of hardware and software to give you the best possible balance between, protection and efficiency. So
that's fantastic.
He was talking, basically he was looking around for free and open source tools, and himself and Leo were talking about it, and Steve was like, yeah, this tool is great. It gives all the nerdy detail, but it's useless to normal people because all it does is give you nerdy detail. I mean, someone should really write a tool. And I think Leo started, with me, it's not going to be me. And then the next week's show starts with, okay, fine, I caved. I went and I wrote it. So it's called Inspector, as in Inspector Gadget, but with the
that's
Ori
awesome.
on the end. As Inspector. So it's Inspector. It's a free Windows app. It is for people who have Windows PCs. It will run in Wine, but it will then tell you what the fake version of Windows in Wine is configured to do, which is meaningless. The hardware information is still of some use if you're running in Wine on a Mac or on Linux. But really, this is a tool that is of the absolute most value to Windows users.
Do some Wine stuff, and it was all right.
Next time, stay patched and stay secure.
Okie dokie. Escape. There you go. Click on that track. And back to preview.
So I didn't mention it before, but Ian gave a link to the Google Down map, the real-time map across the world. And LA, although it was a little worse before, but it is having some problems in the Southern California area.
Oh, remember I had trouble with network connectivity, and then I checked your Mac and you were fine. And when I came back to my Mac was back. We use Google's DNS. Oh wait, no, we don't. No, we don't. We're on Quad 9. Huh.
But I think that's it, because we're still getting it, and I'm off the Ethernet now. It's not as bad, but the map is also improved too. So
really,
yeah,
I want to see it.
I'll put the link back in that Ian gave.
Okay. Yeah, I'm only seeing yours. Okay, I'm going to do my ending recording while you do that. Here we go.
Stay patched and stay secure.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to keep hearing about Spectre and Meltdown for quite some time, but I sure appreciate Bart keeping us up to speed on it. But that is going to wind us up for this week. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and any suggestions, typos, whatever you got. You can do that either by emailing me at allison@podfeed.com, or you can follow me on Twitter @podfeed. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You've got podfeed.com/Patreon to donate money once a week or once a month, I think it is. Or you can go to podfeed.com/Facebook or podfeed.com/Google Plus to join the conversation between all of the NosillaCast castaways. And of course, you can also go to podfeed.com/Amazon, and anything you purchase when you're at that link, right in that exact session, will a small portion of that, a very small percentage of it, will go to help the show. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And this week we had someone from Japan. We had Kaylee, we had Alistair and from New Zealand, and we had Rose from Australia. So we had, and plus a whole bunch of people from the United States as far away as Alaska with Richard, and we covered the whole planet. So it was really awesome. So if you want to come on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time, you can join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. You were unmuted, but you didn't make noise until the very end.
I was very glad that you included Richard there, because otherwise we wouldn't have had the far north covered.
There you go. Podfeet sucking up all the bandwidth. Hey. Let's try that.
Yeah, Alaska to Tassie is a pretty decent stretch. Good point, Rose.
Yeah, that's right. Actually,
Alistair.
That's a good point. So from Tasmania to Alaska, is that farther away than Japan to Tasmania? I'd heard you through the door, Steve. You were muted, I think. For some reason, you're muted now.
Yes, it is.
Are you sure? Have you checked?
I'm looking at a world map. Now this is
Wait, hold your globe up and show everybody.
Yeah, true. This is a projection on a flat plane. That's probably distorted. Let me go get my globe.
Inquiring minds need to know. Alaska to Tassie is a pretty decent stretch. I cover most of the East Coast. Nice, Kevin. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. No. You early.
Yes, Alaska's farther.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's
wow.
You compared to Japan, did you say?
Well, hold it up.
Well, this is gonna be hard. What was the comparison?
So Tasmania. So Rose to Kaylee or Rose to Richard?
Yeah, the reason it's farther to Richard is Alaska is farther north than Japan, and it's farther east. So Japan is almost due north of
Wait a minute. No. Alaska is not far east.
It's farther east.
No, yes. What is it? It's what are you talking about?
You go east. The shortest distance.
East from where?
From Tasmania to Alaska.
You go east.
A lot north and a little bit east.
Oh, okay. No, here. Yeah. I was thinking you got to go to from Australia to Japan by going through me.
No.
Yeah, you do. You have to go that way.
Japan is...
No, because it's got to encompass the Podfeet headquarters.
I see. Well, then it's all distorted. I don't know. That coordinate system is.
I don't know how. Actually, yeah, because it's Rose. Oh, come on! I'm the center of this universe. It's my own little universe. From 5 to 6 p.m. on Sunday nights. It's me. It's all about me.
I see.
So Tasmania to Japan. Yeah, that's of course that's close. If you don't bother going through California,
right?
You basically do that.
It's just due north. It's a lot north, but it's due north.
I knew that.
Not as far north though as Alaska. Richard's got them all beat on the northern reaches.
Okay, so how about this? If you just travel
this week in geometry.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Geography.
No. So I've got what I was picturing. Okay. So if you go from Rose straight up to the equator, and go around through the United States and around to Japan, the elliptical, right? If you go from Tasmania to Japan on the elliptical.
The equator doesn't go through the U.S.
I know, but you can project, drop a perpendicular onto the equator. That's what I was picturing. So I'm going around this way.
What coordinate system are you in?
Versus around this way from Richard down to Rose, vertically versus horizontally. That's the two things I want to know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bring the globe in. Bring it in. I want to show everybody. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. It's all about Podfeet. Yes, it is. Okay. Here we go. How do I keep the globe here? No, we've got to bring it on. Oh, here we go. We'll bring the camera. We'll bring you guys to the globe. This is good stuff. Okay.
The Rose is down here.
I got to get it projected. Okay. So Rose is here. So go from Rose straight up to the equator. Okay. Now tilt down. Okay, so we're here. Now we're gonna go from
down here.
Rose. Yeah. So Rose is way down here. Whoops. No, this isn't very good. Okay. Rose. So Rose is here. So now you go around this way, all the way. So now there's me. Okay. There's me. Keep going. All the way. You let go of Rose. And now where's Japan?
It's up here.
Yeah.
It's straight up from Rose.
Okay.
Japan is here.
Rose is just straight underneath everything.
Yeah. So is Alistair.
Where's Alaska?
Alaska's is over here.
Yeah.
So
So
it's farther north and farther east.
so it's actually not very far from Alaska to Japan.
No, it's not.
So we're the people who are far away from
You know,
everything.
and you can see Russia from Alaska.
You can see Russia from your house. Okay. Is everybody sick yet? Woo! All right. Well, I had fun doing that. That's why you get a globe so you can understand stuff. Russia's enjoying it. Okay, so Rose is the center of everything. I'm not, apparently.
Yes.
That's okay. I love Rose to bits. There isn't anything better than Rose. All right. Where am I? I think
John says Alabama's farthest from Tasmania.
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, there's a lot farther east.
Yeah, who's the No, is he farther?
Hold on.
Yeah, Japan's more up north.
You know, we're looking at the globe and stuff, but we could just be typing into the Google Maps.
I know, but
what's the distance?
What fun is that, right?
Now I think the northern. You know, that's close.
What is?
I think.
Which two?
The amount that Alaska is north is about the same that the amount Alabama is east with respect to Tasmania. So I think they're pretty close.
Oh, so you're having to triangulate
triangle,
like
yeah,
up on a spherical surface. We could get a string.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a string? Oh, I could use a cable. Use a cable, Steve.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty close.
Steve, you're gonna need to turn your camera towards the globe. Get a string.
No, I'm not getting a string.
No, okay, get a cable.
No.
But come on, take like a lightning cable and put one end on Rose and wrap it around up to Japan. Okay. This is science, Steve.
All right.
Tokyo Ian, it doesn't count if you use Google.
Yeah, that's
Russia's right.
Right.
String theory. Okay.
All right, I've got my lightning cable.
Okay, so take one end and put it on Tasmania, and then drag that up to Kaylee, who is in she's in Osaka.
No, that's not. Japan wasn't even close. It's Alaska versus Alabama.
Oh, okay. So go up to Alaska. Can you reach with your lightning cable to Alaska?
I can reach around the world.
Okay, and then like pinch it there so you got your fingernail on it, and then take it and pull it down to Alabama while holding the other end on Rose still.
Ooh. Alabama is farther, actually considerably.
Alabama is farther from
2 or 3 inches
than Alaska is?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because it's so far east.
You need your camera point. Do you need me to come point at it for you?
No.
I think
I'm good.
What?
You blanked out. You cut.
Yeah, you
cut
did.
out.
You did. Well, I think at 5:53 we have finished this scientific experiment. Yes, we will. We'll do a Google spreadsheet, but we're going to do it with string, not or lightning cables, not with Google. Okay, we'll publish it.
Oh wait, Kevin's now in the running because Virginia's farther.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute.
The farthest probably would be New York and Boston up there.
Okay, what I need everybody to do right now is put where they are, because we need to know the answer to this. Rush just left. Rush, don't leave. Put what city where you are. Everybody type in right now, all at once, one after another. Put in where you are, because then I'll take a screen snapshot. Can you reach with your lightning cable to Alaska? Quote of the night. Okay. He would be farther. Okay, Vegas, Huntsville, Alabama. Okay, good. Oh, good. Rush got his. Sandy, not far at all.
Okay, Kentucky.
Okay, is that everybody? Did Ian
still
got
going to
his?
be.
Was that everybody? Kaylee? But we know Kaylee is in Japan. All right, I'm going to do a screen snapshot. Looks like we don't have Kaylee yet. She must have gone off to do something. All right.
So DC's farther east. So far, I think Kevin may have it.
I take Mondays off and don't do anything constructive. Oh, except I have a video due for Don. I probably shouldn't work on this, but okay. So Ian is, Lexington. Oh, Ian and Rush are together. Okay.
Yeah, he said they may be the two closest.
Okay. We got Osaka.
Osaka.
She says it Osaka.
Yes, the proper way.
Okay. Well, I didn't get you in the first screenshot, but my stream is like a minute behind. Oh, so she's the farthest away.
Well,
Kaylee's
internet distance, right?
Yeah.
Good night, Richard.
Good night, everybody. Hey, I wonder if it's going to matter where in Alaska he was.
No, not even close.
All right.
2 or 3 inches by lightning cable length.
Okay, so this is NosillaCastaway's cities or locations. All right, we will get back to you with a full report. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Say goodbye, Steve.
Good night, Gracie.
All right, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for sticking with us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dagnabbit, stop being last. He always gets the screen. No talking. Okay, bye.